not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nub. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still lights of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
And just like that, just like the revolution, we are also live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to twitch.tv/Major Linux. Of course, we are here for the Recollective. We're representing the Recollective. For those who do not know the Recollective, we are an organization that was founded not too long ago because we were mainly having having some issues,
some technical difficulties.
Some technical difficulties, yes. When it came to trying to get some diversity and inclusion within one of the spaces that we love way too much, Extra Life. For those who don't know, I guess we can start off with, it's no big deal. We can start off with that. Extra Life, for those who do not know, is a charitable organization that's a part of the Children's Miracle Network, where we play games, we raise awareness, and we raise funds for our local Children's Miracle Network hospitals. There are over 100 hospitals all over the country, all over the U.S., all over Canada, where, I think there's every minute, there's every second, 62 kids are in the hospital. I can't remember the exact number.
Every minute, 62 kids.
Thank you. We raise funds for our local hospitals. For me, Major Linux, I represent and raise money for Duke Children's Hospital here in Durham, North Carolina. We've got ChampionOfFro. I'm pointing in the wrong direction. ChampionOfFro over there for Seattle Children's.
Raising money for Seattle children.
And we got Mocha Jones 10 down there, the Juneteenth background. Raising funds for, and geez, I am blanking.
Northern Children in Louisville, Kentucky.
See? And so, again, we're all over the country. We're all doing this thing here, and we're doing what we love because we love to save these kids in our local communities. The thing is, though, the one big issue we had was the fact that, when we're out here raising money, we kind of felt alone. I mean, what do you got? I mean, it's not so much alone, like, you know, nobody in our families understand what's going on. Like, I mean, quite frankly, it took a while for my wife to get on board. When I told her, that, yeah, like, I do things for Extra Life. So why do you go out and do all this? Because if I don't, nobody will, really. But no, it was more or less like that lonely feeling that there weren't people like me. I didn't see a lot of people like me.
That's true.
Raising money, doing the work that I was doing. Not only do I raise money for Extra Life, I'm also the president of my local guild here in the Raleigh-Durham area. I was team lead for the Extra Life stream team. I mod for the Extra Life server, for the Extra Life Discord server. But in all of those spaces, I did not see people like me doing much of anything. It really wasn't until like ELU 2019 when I actually met ChampionOfFro. And I'm going to tell you, brother, when I saw a melanated brother like myself, and even with long hair, I'm like, oh my, like, I wanted, it's almost like, you know, like you see those shows where you got you got two people of color, like in the room, and like all the white folk there's like, oh, y'all got to be friends. Like, it felt like that, except nobody was putting that pressure on me to do that. But it's like, oh my God, it's another one.
But it happened.
It did.
And it was great.
I mean, and then, you know, like, I don't even know. Like, we've been following each other on Twitch for a while.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that came about.
You but thank Andy for that.
And that may have been. I'm like, this had been. I want to say this was years ago.
Yeah.
I want to say this was years ago. We were following. I did not know you knew Hanny until this year. I was like, maybe that's how I got. I don't know. All I know is I found another Extra Life brother, and I've been keeping close tabs on this Extra Life brother because, like, you know, when you find one, it's like a unicorn. It's like you just gotta hold on to it. Like, I can't let this one go because if he go, then what's gonna happen to me? Like, I can't do this. I can't do this by myself, man.
Can't do this alone.
I can't. And it's sad that it took this long. Again, like, we may have talked off and on briefly during a lot of this, but it took getting this organization started, kind of finding and defining the space started to, I mean, for us to even have these conversations, to be able to kind of talk in any meaningful way.
Yeah.
And it's sad that it came to a point where we all kind of woke up. We noticed together, like, you know, we didn't want to make a stink. I mean, you're in an organization that's helping sick kids. Like, why would we want to make the stink? Why would we want to say anything that could cause a rift? But it's at a certain point when you're doing this, like, so I don't know how long y'all been doing. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been a part of Extra Life for 10 years. I've been in my guild for 6. I've been leading it for like 4 or 5 years. I've been on the stream team for 4 years. I've been leading that team for about 3 years up until it left. I've been a mod since the server began. To be in all the spaces and doing all this work for Extra Life and to notice that, you know, ain't a lot of other people like me here, or and not just like me, but just somebody that kind of had a darker shade or a different shade. It seemed weird. And I know in ELU 2019, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I actually thought, like, all right, I'm gonna come to ELU 2019. And it's like, you know what? If I don't feel it, it's almost like going to a church revival. If I don't feel the Lord in my bones.
He's like, I'm out.
I'm out. Like, if I don't feel it, I'm going to be gone. And I did. I luckily I did feel that a little bit. I became passionate, not because like, oh, like I'm just like I can feel. I've seen, like, finally, like, brothers and sisters came out, but it's like, no, like, honestly, people actually stopped. They sat and they listened to a lot of the things that I had to say.
Yeah.
And like, they understood it. It was at a point where it's like, all right, you know what? It was kind of like a trial period for me. So I'm going to see how much I can get away with being unapologetically black here.
Nice.
And it worked. It worked out pretty well. Like I found, granted, I had to find a group of allies in order to do that. But it's like, okay, y'all passed the trial run. Okay, y'all cool with me. We good. Now we're going to take this to the streets. We tried it out in the little home market. Now we're going to take this to the streets. Let's see how it works there. And so far so good. It worked out. Took a year to kind of hone the craft a little bit because, boy, things got a little testy a little bit, but it worked out. And luckily for me, so for EO 2020, like Extra Life had to make it virtual because of the pandemic. I was in one of the lakeside chats, one of the huge Zoom calls we had towards the end of the evening, and there I spoke out about it. It was the first time that I mentioned it outside of a specific group of friends. It was the first time I mentioned it outside of Lou about what was going on. It's the first time I mentioned it outside of Ashley about it. I just put it out there. So look, I'm not sure if you were there, Mocha.
I think that's when I was.
I said, there's like 30 people in this Zoom call right now. I can only count 3 people in here that aren't white, and that's a problem. Like that is a huge problem right now. Like I think it was I said like there was like 3 people in there. It's like it's me. It was Mocha, you were in here. So it's me, there's Mocha, and shout out to Jamie, once a clockwise child. It was the 3 of us in there. Now granted, Hanny was in there too. And we may get into that a little bit later. It's but yeah, like she was number 4. And I was like, that's a problem. There's a problem when I could count on one hand. Of everybody that came out here, for everybody who is that passionate about Extra Life to actually spend this time in a Zoom call to talk to other Extra Lifers, because sure, we had probably hundreds of participants at EOU, but none of them could care less about Extra Life. Like, we can be honest about that. They were all there for the money. There was like I think one of the tournaments was like kind of a road to other like bigger fighting tournaments. Like it just happened to be a stop. So that's the only reason why they showed up. For there to be 3 to 4 people of color in that little call, I was like, that's a problem. This is not a good look. This just, you might as well say they call it Extra Life so white at this point. Like this ain't the move, Chi. So luckily, like after that, that unapologetically black, it hit the right people. And I get people sitting hitting me up and say, hey, you know what? You were right. I had that same feeling too, but I didn't want to say anything. I didn't know if anybody else felt that way. And that in and of itself is a problem. When you create a community, when you have a community that's been built to where you are afraid to speak up on something, like you are afraid to say how you truly feel about something when you feel that something is wrong. Something doesn't feel right. You don't feel safe, but you're afraid.
You don't feel safe to say something.
Yeah, like that's not good. It shouldn't be somebody like a big black man is like, you know what, I'm tired of this, and just start tearing up things to start trying to affect some kind of change. Like, if it's a safe space, then you should be able to say something whenever you feel like it. Say, hey, I don't feel safe here. Can we do something? So luckily we got to a point where we did. We reached out. We tried to say something. Unfortunately, the only thing we asked for at the time, well, outside of, again, shout out to, Extra Life merch.extra-life.org. It's got some good stuff in there. However, there's still some culturally inappropriate stuff, like things that could have been consulted on by people in the know, and they weren't.
By just asking a few questions to someone outside of that immediate group that they were portraying as the...
Yeah, we're not going to mention the long sleeve shirts that have kanji and katakana on it, but, were clearly ran through Google Translate and then posted in weird ways. That way, an actual person who reads Japanese would be easily confused by what you put on the shirt, but we're not going to mention that.
No.
We reached out. Was like, look, all we want to do is help maybe make some of these decisions because it's clear that you need it. And I don't know, like maybe help us foster a safe space for people to actually be able to talk on these issues that we have without fear of, you know, rocking the boat. Like simple, just easy things.
Or
like,
retribution.
Yeah.
Not just rocking the boat, but just retribution.
Yeah, like, look, all we want is just like a channel and a Discord server. That's it. I mean, you got rid of the forum, so we can't really make it there. I mean, even if we could, like, I'd still feel like, you know, the same result with the Discord server would have happened there too. But we were turned down from it. We were turned down for it. It was very heartbreaking for that to happen.
Yeah.
Something that really is very simple. Like for me, I don't know how many Discord servers you guys run, but oh my God, it seems like I got an idea. Let's create a Discord server. They feel like easy, free to do. And I feel like it's very simple to manage, but it was something that we were denied at the beginning. Spoiler alert, we were still denied for it like 3 weeks ago, but that's neither here nor there. So what we did was like we got together, we started having some conversations, and we just created the space ourselves. Because again, turns out it is really simple, like just stupid simple to create it and make sure that you have the people who know what needs to be done to manage, you know, a safe space. It's mind-boggling simple that you can do that, but I don't know. I've been monopolizing this conversation here. I'm gonna let you guys.
Well,
talk
that's
now.
all good though, because I mean, you were closer to it than any of us, and so I mean, it's good that everybody is hearing of the recap and understanding what has brought us to what we are doing today. Because without that, there's no context. So providing the context is key, and I'm glad that you're here to do.
Thank you. But yeah, so I'm curious about your stories, your personal stories. Like how long, like who are you? How long you been a part of Extra Life, and you know, just what have you been your personal experiences, especially. So one thing I didn't notice, failed to mention or failed to notice before today. Not only are we 3 black men sitting here, amongst what really appears to be like the biggest civil rights movement since the civil rights movement, like civil rights movement 2, if we're going to give it a name, or I don't know, maybe we can get marketing professionals to come through and make better names for this. I guess that's what the Black Lives Matter movement is. I guess that's
civil rights continuation.
It's like civil rights 2. It's like civil rights 2, Black Lives Matter. I don't know. I mean, if we're going to give them movie titles or video game titles at this point.
Go Kingdom Hearts naming.
Oh, let's not do that. We don't want to confuse people. Like it seems like it seems like in this day and age, Black Lives Matter is a very difficult concept to grasp for a lot of people. So let's not confuse them with Kingdom Hearts titles now. God bless it. Let's not do that. But yeah, not only are we 3 black men in the midst of the Black Lives Matter movement right now, extra lifers, we're also fathers. We're also black fathers who are doing this. Yeah. Who, sure, like before we were dads, you know, hey, like I tell people, me being a part of Extra Life was just what it seemed like the right thing to do. I like helping people. Yeah. Why not do that while playing video games? But boy, when you become a parent, things change.
Yeah. I mean, the whole reason I even got started was my friends were telling me, is like, hey, we started doing this thing where we're playing video games for 24 hours. I was like, I'm in. They're like, wait, but we're doing this. I was like, no, that sounds good. Like what you said playing video games for 24 hours. Like, I'm in. What do I need to do? Easy.
Yeah, I got Hanny and Derek to thank for getting me into this, cause Hanny, my oldest best friend, Derek, obviously her husband, and
I don't think that was obvious, but I mean, okay.
Right. Obvious.
I mean, it was obvious to us three, but to everybody who doesn't know Henny and Derek's life story,
I would say it's obvious to the two of you because I didn't know.
Yeah. Derek's like, I want you to do this. It's gaming where you're helping kids. Like, sure, let's do it.
Yeah. It's like you were saying, mate. It's a no-brainer. It's like, I'm going to be doing this. Like, I am a gamer. That is what I do in my spare time. Why not say a few things about something that's important that helps those that can't help them? Like, kids. How hard is this? Like, it's not hard at all.
right?
Play games, stream a little bit, say a few things a few different times throughout the stream. Bring in money to help a local children's hospital. Yeah, I can do that. That's yeah, I got this.
But yeah, like for me, it changed. It changed 3 years ago. Have a wonderful 3-year-old son. He's great.
Three,
yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Mine is 5.5 months. So yeah. It's been awesome.
You still knew it. You still knew it this. Like
I am still good at this, but I am still having so much fun.
Mine will be
It is a blast.
Friday.
Yours
on Friday?
I've been the dad the longest. I thought yours was older. Jeez.
No. You're the OG of this group right here now.
Veteran here. Okay. But yeah, so like things changed. Things changed when you became a parent, and it was like, you know, I'm not sure about you two, but I know for me, my son, it was not the easiest path to get here. Like my wife was pregnant with our first child back in 2015, but unfortunately she had a miscarriage, and that hit us hard. So in 2016, we found out in January, it was great. Like celebrating, all right, we got to do everything. Like whatever we did in 20, we could do the opposite. I don't even know what it was. Like, you know what? I'm not playing Metal Gear Solid 5 this year. No, not at all. Luckily, Overwatch came out. I don't know. You know what? I was playing consoles in 2015. You know, I'm going to build a PC so I can play PC games instead of console. PS4, what? No, it's PC gaming here. And lo and behold, I'm definitely heavily into PCs now. So don't. See, it worked out. It worked out. To keep me from freaking out, yes, I built a PC when my wife was pregnant. Yeah. So, sure, I could have saved that money somewhere, but no, I built a PC instead.
Yeah, you'll get the money back. It's fine.
Yeah, it worked out. And I started streaming on Twitch. Yeah, and this was before affiliates too, so there was definitely like no promise of money. But it was like, no, I'm an affiliate. I'll get that money back. We're fine. But no, like, yeah, in 2016, like, she was pregnant again. You know, made sure everything was okay. She carried him. It's weird. They changed full term from like 36 weeks to 40. So technically he was full term by like maybe 2010 standard. I don't know when they changed the number, but she was 37 weeks when he was born. So not premature, but like the look okay. You know, we can fudge a number. I don't know.
It's not like there's a nurse that can tell you.
Yeah, it's like, look, but when he was born, he had some issues breathing. So, not normal parents, while on average, any other parent after, child was born, like, I don't know how long y'all were in hospital. Y'all were like in there, like, what, 2-3 days, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent a week. In the hospital. I saw my son. He was born at 5:29 a.m. on September 12th. I don't think I really saw him again until maybe September 14th. After he was born, like, he had some respiratory issues, and they took him into the NICU, where they had to kind of do whatever they can to make sure he was breathing on his own. And from there, when they finally allowed us to go visit him, see him, like, oh, hey, it's our son, great. But he's still kind of, he has to stay in this room. We can't Like, for a lot of pregnancies, for a lot of new parents, their baby, like, they're with their mom constantly, like, just like from the jump. Baby's out, hug with the swaddle with the mom, it's great, and sit there for a little bit till it's time to go rest or whatever. Nope. Like when Caden was born, like, there was a little bit of that, but then he was whisked away. He had to be taken to the NICU. So yeah, when we were finally able to visit him, I saw something that forever changed me. Now, I know I said, like, I would get out of Extra Life. I would not participate. I may donate, but I'm not going to participate. This right here is what kept me in it. Visit him in the NICU, I saw something, and again, for lack of a better term, because I wish I can go back and ask somebody what this was, but I saved it some weird way in my head. They have a system where they pair two babies. They have a strong baby and they have a weak baby. My son was fortunate enough to be a strong baby, which means that they would check, make sure, his vitals are okay. Is he fed, changed, okay, normal baby things. Mm-hmm. They can focus on the weak baby, the babies that are like, probably no bigger than a cell phone. Like the babies that are fighting every single second to make it. With the help of machines, with the help of medicines, with the help of various treatments, they are fighting every single second. Babies that were probably in there longer than my son was. Seeing that right there, it broke my heart, but it definitely made me want to continue doing this. Because, sure, I may not have been out of the hospital the next day, but I got to leave the hospital with my son. I talked to a parent maybe a year later. He had told me, like, oh yeah, like I've got a brand new newborn daughter. She's about as old as your son. So okay, like when? So he said that she was born like about mid-September. Which then made me think. So wait a second. So he said that they had to leave the hospital.
And leave the baby back.
Leave the baby at the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, his baby, his daughter, was the weak baby. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that is. That's so hard for me to even just fathom having to, like, if I look at it now and to see what had happened that day, to be like, I have to leave someone behind, like just like I have to put her down and walk away. That I'm a loss for words, just because that's so fucking hard to even think about.
It was tough for me to leave the hospital for a few hours to go take a shower and get new clothes.
Yeah.
Like, just because I knew I was coming back. I knew I was coming back to the hospital. It was tough for me to go home because I did not want to leave my wife because she's still in a hospital bed, still without her son.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot even imagine the parents who have to go back because they can't afford to stay in the hospital.
Yeah.
There's no need. Like, the mom's okay. We have to discharge you. We need these beds. And they have to leave their child behind. Just got placed in this world, and it's like, you know what? You're on your own.
Yep.
Like, that is, it's a horrible, horrible thing. And knowing that, experiencing it, seeing that, talking to people who have gone through that, like, that definitely put me, all right, you know what? I will definitely support other shit. I love, like, I'm blessed to be in a position to where, and I joke quite often, like, I spend a lot of money on stupid things that nobody should be spending money on. But it also affords me the opportunity when I realize, okay, instead of buying this stupid thing, I can donate that money.
Yep.
Like, making sure I'm putting my money where my mouth is and helping those who need it. And definitely, Extra Life will forever be up there. as a charity that I support, because of the fact that, you know, I could be supporting my hospital, Duke Children's, where again, Durham, North Carolina, they're like the African American population is like one of the highest in the state. Like, if, you know, black folk going anywhere, they're going to Duke. They're going to Durham. They're going to Duke Regional. Like, that was my family's hospital of choice. I've lived in North Carolina 33 years. Like, we always went to Duke.
Yeah.
Like, there was a hospital in the same county as us, but we went to Durham. We went to Durham. We were going to Oxford. We went to Durham. I was born at Durham Regional Hospital. So, like, that's just been in our, because that's just where we went. That's where black folks went, because, you know, we were all in Durham. When we moved out, we just kept going to Durham. So I love supporting my hospital. But that's the thing with Extra Life. Like, when I donate to a person, I know I'm supporting their hospital. Like, they are personally vetting these hospitals. Said, this is the one I want to raise money for. And say, all right, that's where my $20 is going. That's where my $50 is going. And that's what I love about this organization.
Yeah.
It's just that it's so much more personal, because you as the fundraiser choose where your money goes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to take away from St. Jude. It's not to take away from any other charity that's out there. But at least with Extra Life, with CMN, you choose where that money goes. Yeah. And if I'm donating it to Mocha, if I'm donating it to ChampionOfFro, if I'm donating it to whoever, it's like, hey, I like you, I like what you're doing, but also you've chosen how you vetted this hospital. You trust and believe that the money that you are raising for this hospital is going to benefit that hospital.
Right.
Like, I can walk, well, not now, but before, and I have walked into a hospital. Again, for me being the president of my guild, I've talked to the people who are running these hospitals. I've actually shook hands with, I believe, I want to say it's the chief of medicine for Duke Children's. Like, I have to stop and think that, what things have I done in my life to put me in the same room within several feet, within actually 2 inches of a chief of medicine of a major hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, again, because it's a thing that it shouldn't have to be pointed out, but let's face it, it is. How did a black man get this damn close? Now, I understand
right.
I don't know if I'm being hosted by Extra Life, and if I am, I'm sorry, but how did I get this close? Because it's something that's an opportunity that we're never afforded.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's experiences like that where it's like, you know, I would love the high five, like, yo, we got close, like, we did it. It's a step for the movement. We're getting there. But then when you look around again, just like, luckily I had the secretary of my guild there, like, okay, you're here. Like, I can physically high five you, but that's about the extent of black people I know in Extra Life right now. And it was like, I was so glad to hear about Seattle. I was like, wait, man, they got a diverse team over there. That sounds nice. And like,
we are working on it. We are definitely working on it.
And that's fantastic. And I told us, yeah, like I told your president, Jamie, I said, you know, so that's great, but see, I could beat you in diversity numbers. Like 50% of our leadership, for 50% of our guild is black. It's like, man, that's amazing. Yeah. I said, yeah, but there's only 2 of us.
It's like it's really small.
It's very small, but hey, I mean, per capita, sure, we got the numbers beat.
Oh man. Yeah. So yeah, this year for me is my I just joined the leadership team as what is it? I am streamer relations team lead. I haven't figured out exactly what that is yet, but I'm working on it.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah, like, I need to get back to everyone. But like, so my goal is, what in my head, the way I'm just gonna see it is like, once we kind of figure out like who's streaming, I'm just gonna make sure, hey, Do you have contact with people within the guild? Do you have resources that you can help yourself and help others? Like, what do you need to be successful? Doing it is what you do. Let me see if I can point you in the right direction. Because, for me, like, I've been part of Extra Life for the last, like, this is my 7th year actually fundraising for Extra Life. I've been part of it for 8 years, but the first year that I did it, I wasn't necessarily like, I didn't register a page, whatever. What I did is I had all my friends over to my place, and I put them, like, I basically hosted them while they were gaming for it. And I stayed up with them. I made sure that they had food. I made sure they had drinks. Like, I went to Costco and just like laid out just like food everywhere, energy drinks, fruit, vegetables. Like, this is me helping because I don't know what this is yet. But then they told me about it, and I was like, okay, next year I'm in. And so it's been like so much fun. And every year that's what we do. We all, like, you can see I have like my mic here, my camera and lights and monitor stuff here. Like, I pack up all this stuff. I go to my buddy's house. I reset everything up the night before. We all get all spaces together. We set up. We game for 24 hours together, like supporting each other in Extra Life for Seattle Children's Hospital. And just like, it's amazing. Like, we can do this. And I am with a group of people where I am the only minority, but I've known, shout out to Geektimus Prime Plays. Like, he is the one that got me into this, like, and Extra Life. I've known that cat since, like, we didn't go to the same high school. He went to a different high school, but I've known him for, I'm not going to say my age, I'm not going to say how many years, but a long time. Like, I've known him for a very long time. And it's because of him that I started raising money for Extra Life. And then 4 years ago, I started contracting with Seattle Children's Hospital, just doing some data center stuff. Just like, I needed a job at the time, doing some business. And now this July, I will actually be, and I've been an employee for Seattle Children's so an actual employee of Seattle Children's for a year starting this July. And I get to see where all of my fundraising goes. I've toured the hospital. I've toured all the different NICUs and seeing things that most people don't get to see unless you are there for that reason, which is not a necessarily good feeling to be in there when you have to see it from my side. And like, this is where my funds are going. This is where everyone that donates to me, this is where it's going. It was huge, and it was just eye-opening. And then, I started hitting up my coworkers. Not the first year, the second year, I started hitting up my coworkers and noticing how much of them are also like, yeah, this sounds great. And it's just like, not only are we working for Seattle Children's, but we're also giving back. And, and it's a lot of people that do not look like me that are supporting me, which is great. And I'm so thankful for all of them. I just, and they are just like, I also want more people that are here that is also supporting me. And it's hard. I was a contractor for 3 years before I was actually brought up, thinking that it was going to happen a lot sooner. And it was just like, no, I know this is going to happen. I know it's taking some time. And it was like hard because it's like, as a contractor, no benefits and all this other thing, all these things that you're missing out on. It's like, oh, everybody has a day off. I'm at work.
Yep.
And it's just like, okay, my time, it's not my time yet. It's not my time yet. It's not my time yet. When the F is it going to be my time? It's not my time. It's not my time. I've been thankful ever since, but it's just like, I want more people like me at the company, and they are committed to that. Our CEO put out a message, did a town hall last week, and they are just like, nope, we understand what's going on in the community. This is our game plan. This is what we're trying to do. Help us, help the community. Let's go. And it's just like, that's awesome. Like, this is my local children's hospital communicating everything that they can in support of the community, and is like pushing people to do better. And it's just like, it's a good feeling. And knowing that I'm not just another contractor, that I actually am an employee, and I can actually have a say, and I have some clout with what's going on. is just key, which doesn't happen very often in the workplace. You know, I'm fortunate enough, like some of y'all can see, like these dreads are long. Like I started the job and they were like here.
Oh my
so, like,
god!
Oh,
see, like, they didn't blink, you know, which is rare.
Yeah.
So and I mostly wear headband, but sometimes I don't wear a head, ponytail, like whatever. Like they were amazing, and it's a great company. And so like, why wouldn't I want to do something like Extra Life where I'm helping out kids? You know, I'm fortunate to say that my wife, she didn't have any complications, and we didn't have to worry about anything like that. But knowing that if she did, she would have been taken care of. We would have been taken care of. Our baby girl would have been taken care of because of our local children's hospital. It's like we start off this call. It's a no-brainer. It's just like helping children sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Let's do it. What do I need to do? Oh, play video games. I can.
Yeah. You said you were a contractor doing data center stuff. So you're in IT.
Yeah, I'm still in IT.
God bless it, bro. We could have more conversations because it's good to see another brother in IT too.
Yeah, I'm definitely not as I'm no major Linux.
Look,
I know hardware. I can build PCs like no problem.
Look,
like,
we can benefit each other. Look, I'm software. You're hardware. It's like peanut butter and chocolate.
We got this. We got this.
We got this.
Don't say anything, Annie.
There's another brother in IT down now.
That's a different conversation for a different day, so let's move on.
But no, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like and it's good to have an equity. Like, and it's nice to have that in a place of employment. And I'm glad you mentioned that because like that was one of the things I was hoping we can get from Extra Life. It was like, I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with ERGs or employee resource groups. They tweeted it yesterday. Because people were talking about, when was the first time you heard of Juneteenth? And of course, like you got a lot of people who are going to be very impressed. Like, no, I know about it a long time. I was like, no, you heard about it just last week. Stop fronting. I'm not going to lie. I was 21 years old. I learned about Juneteenth 11 years ago. I was interning at State Farm, and I found out about Juneteenth from an ERG, the Black Employee Resource Group. I think it was Black at State Farm. Or I think it was Black at State Farm. I don't know. It's, again, 11 years. It's time. Time has passed. Time. What is time?
Keeps on flipping.
Yeah. But yeah, like learning
Into
from
the future.
But yeah, like learning from a black employee resource group what Juneteenth was, like I benefited so much from that. Like that was the last time I had been in an ERG for a while. I think when I was at UNC, they had Black Caucus. And because it's a university, it's huge, and just kind of poked my head in for about 4 years, and I poked my head back out when I left. When I left and went to Pivotal, I used company Pivotal, do platform as a service, all your apps are built on cloud things or whatever. Mm-hmm. They had an employee resource group, it was Black at Pivotal, which was amazing. And the one thing I loved about that was not too long after I started. So they had the Black at Pivotal where black folks and allies were a part of that group. But then what they did, and I felt was so important, I didn't get the concept, I didn't get the reason why until a little bit later, but they created another group. It was another Slack channel. It was called Wakanda. And it was locked. Now, I want to say it came out, that channel was created maybe like shortly after the movie Black Panther came out. They created that channel and locked it. Only black folks got the invite, got the invitation to that Slack channel. And man, you can see the difference between being in the Black ERG Slack channel and then being in the Wakanda Slack channel. And it's like, man, if you ain't never heard of code switching,
oh my God! Yeah.
Look at these two different channels for two channels at war for Black people. It is like, whoa, once you lock certain people out for your safety and for your sanity, like you can see complaints because the Pivotal was sold to VMware January 1 of 2020. But leading up to that, you have people asking some questions, and of course, you can only ask certain questions. You can only voice certain concerns. But boy, in Wakanda, every Black person was definitely concerned about losing their job. Like, they were pulling numbers because they knew if they pulled it in public, people were going to start having some problems. Watching whole teams get decimated. Pivotal's diversity and inclusion team wiped out. Nobody made it. And that was where you had your Black and brown folks and your queer folk. Wiped out. Without even blinking an eye. And of course, that's something you don't really bring up, in public spaces because, you're rocking the boat. You might get in a little bit of trouble because you're noticing things. Hey, we don't talk about these things in public because, it could really mess up the shareholders. Like, no, these are important things that should be talked about, but again, it just makes you feel really uncomfortable when somebody notices you done kicked out all the cis white male. You done kicked out an organization that isn't cis white male, and somebody feels some type of way about that. But yeah, it's important to have these groups, and it has me go back to just the basic thing we asked for.
Yeah,
and then just
a space.
Yeah, and just not being able to get it. Like, it wasn't that difficult. I mean, if you really needed somebody to manage it, I mean, right now in the Recollective, we have 13 people in that server doing great, amazing work. And I want to take this time to shout them out. Like, I'd actually open that server up right now and start just calling out names at this point, because there's actually not that many of us. But people have been, like, since we've been bringing in new people, we've been putting in the work. I definitely want to shout out Hanny, and I want to shout out Once a Clockwise Child. Again, those are the two people who reached out to me after ELU, who helped me draft emails, or, I mean, not even help me draft, like, they wrote some of the emails that were sent. They had some of these conversations when I couldn't make it before one thing or another, because, again, pandemic was happening, and, I was busy trying to readjust because, working in IT, people don't know what to do with a computer, because they're called laptops. You can move them, but that's a difficult concept, maybe because they were running Linux, and we'll get to that. That might have been the problem. I mean, Linux on a Windows domain, okay, you know what, sure, yeah, I can see the problem. But, like, for me, I was busy, so they actually picked up the torch. They kept working because this was an equal thing. I wasn't the only one, and I did not want to be the main person. It just said that night on that Zoom call, I just happened to be the one who opened my big mouth to say, you know what, this ain't right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that was a powerful speech you gave too.
Yeah, I felt it too. I was a little nervous, just like I am now, just a little bit, because again,
just a little bit.
Just gonna rock
I'm getting
it a little
comfortable
bit.
as the time keeps going, but
a little bit. Just shake the boat a little bit. So, all right, like, I could capsize this boat. I don't want to fall into the water either, but I just want to wake you guys up a little bit, just so you know things ain't right. Somebody noticed.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to listen to me, that's fine. You know what? It's like I forget the quote. Like, I've been playing a lot of Watch Dogs 2 with the DedSec. It's like, we just present you the truth. Do with it as you will. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna open the door for you. It is up to you to walk through it.
Yeah, you get like the old adage, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink.
Yeah.
Boy, that's quite true of a big organization.
Yeah.
I can show you where all your problems are, but will you do anything about it? But yeah, like thanks to Hanny, thanks to Jamie for definitely being there and kind of helping me get things moving. Because I know we bought Ewan, we bought both you, Champion and Mocha into it. Y'all kind of helped get some things going, and then we just started bringing in a few more people. Shout out to Tuna, who did the amazing graphic for this afternoon's event.
Love it. Oh, that thing was awesome.
Yes.
That might be the new header on my Twitch page.
Yeah, offline. Yeah.
You know? just find Switch. Look, it's done. We did this. It happened. It will happen again. Maybe with more other people, because definitely we have more people in this group. Definitely, everybody should have their voices heard. Also, and we should mention why this exists. So, of course, over the past month and a half, we've seen a resurgence in the civil rights movement. Also, for the new term now, Black Lives Matter, we've seen that pick up, and boy, it is going strong. The reason why I played "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised" is because that is what's happening right now. That is my anthem. I love it. It will not be televised. It is live, direct, and in your face. The 21st century is doing things. I tell people, look, y'all need to stop posting your stuff on social media about the world ending. No, that's not happening. That's your white fragility. Really afraid that things are happening, things are changing. The regime is changing now. We've had people who have been oppressed for over 400 years, and you know what? We're kind of tired of it. I mean, we were tired of it back in 1600s. We were tired of it in 1863. We were tired of it in 1865. When you failed to tell a certain amount of us for 2 years, or because certain people just really had to get that last harvest in.
The last 3 harvests in.
We were tired of it in the 50s and 60s. We were tired of it, in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. I could just, again, we were tired of it.
Colin Kaepernick.
Oh my God.
You ain't liked it when we kneel, but boy, y'all sure really love Target, especially when the CEO of Target's like, you know what? I'll let it burn. We let it burn. It'll be fine. We could.
Fun fact, and I posted this on Twitter today. My mom was alive during the first civil rights movement. Yeah. Think about that for a sec.
Yeah, they posted the first little girl who
65.
Yeah, the first little girl who attended the first integrated school.
Desegregated school.
Yeah, the desegregated school.
65.
She's 65.
Yeah.
That's somebody's grandma right now.
My dad's 60. So it's just it was just people don't realize that was not long ago.
No.
Quit acting like that was 500 years ago. That was our parents' generation.
Yeah. And I'm going to say something else. Derek, who, again, got me into Extra Life, his grandparents marched with King.
Damn. Yeah.
Again.
Just throwing that out there.
To be fair, MLK, let's see. No. Yeah, he'd be up there, but still. He'd be up there, but, it'd still be like an agent, which I'd expect him to be alive still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Again, what the? It's not that long ago.
It's not that long. And yet people are still thinking it's so much further back than now. Or even better.
Still mad.
Or even better, that didn't affect us. Oh, I said it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
I said
it. Yeah. Go ahead and speak on it, brother. I heard you was a part-time pastor. Go on right ahead then. Let me go see if I can find you a pulpit because I'm ready for that sermon.
Let me just back out of the camera so you can have it.
But seriously though, it's people thinking like it's not about me. This doesn't affect me. Or what about? Oh, don't even get me started on whataboutisms. But it's those.
Oh, yeah, those are the. Yeah,
those are. But it's things like that makes what we're trying to do so difficult. Even as we're trying to get a space for ourselves, it's that kind of thinking that makes this so hard. Makes trying to promote ourselves so hard. If that makes sense. It's this thinking that we should all be the same. We should all be treated equal, which in a perfect world, we should all be treated equally.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Like, this is how it should be. Why are people so resistant? Like, it's beyond me.
But
and it's not beyond me.
We don't live in a perfect world.
Yeah.
We live in a world surrounded by humans. Humans have messed up since the very beginning of the world.
Yeah.
And so what we want to do is we want to have our voice. We want to be able to, well, let's just take extra life for example. We want to bring others like us in.
Yeah.
And because the overall goal at the end of the day is to help sick kids.
Yeah.
We're not helping white sick kids. We're not helping black sick kids. We're not helping brown sick kids, red sick kids. We're helping sick kids. There's not a label on who we're helping. We're helping sick kids.
But the thing is too is you have to be cognizant of who's receiving that help. Now, it's not like we're turning away a certain kid just to meet some type of quota, but it's to look at the socioeconomical impact of things that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Black and brown kids don't have access to the same types of healthcare that white kids do. Like,
No.
they just can't afford to go to a hospital.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, for Seattle Children's Hospital, it's like it's known throughout the Pacific Northwest as the hospital to get to if your kids need help, if your local hospital can't do that. And so there's kids from Alaska, Idaho, Utah, Colorado that come to this hospital. If you can't get to that hospital that is going to help your child, or if you don't have that hospital close by, it's like, what do you do? It's like you have to scrape just to get somewhere to get help for your kid. Mm-hmm. And then if you have to get there and then you still have to take care of your kid's care on your own, like that, it's like, it's just the numbers just skyrocket. And without what Extra Life is doing to help those parents and those families that get to those hospitals, like, just imagine all of the hurt that can be going around right now.
Yeah.
Like, that is ridiculous.
It's just because you can't afford that care. That's the one thing that really it sticks to me, is the reason why I love supporting Duke Children's, because of the fact that I used to live there. I have family members who live in that area, and I know for a fact that, they struggle. They struggle. Like I was about to say, like, I grew up not going to doctor's offices unless I was, really, really hurt. We didn't go to a doctor. We couldn't afford to go. To where it's like, Again, like Champion, I get it. I was also a contractor for quite some time, and boy, I made it to full time just before I turned 26. Boy, finally off of my parents' insurance. It's great. I got for corporate insurance. I'm gonna tell you something. It's great, but to actually finally have insurance where like I can afford to go to a doctor, and I'm still like, I don't know. Like I can walk this off. I'm gonna put a little. I think it was like My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I think it was the whole joke that the dad kept just spraying Windex on things. Like,
Windex.
I'll just spray some Windex on it. We good. Let's go. Granted, now look, do not put any cleaning supplies or disinfectants in your body. Please don't do that.
No.
But yeah, like back then, like that's been so ingrained in me. Because as a kid, we could not afford to go seek medical treatment. It was expensive.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't mind raising funds for Extra Life, because I know I'm helping kids who were in that same situation as that I was in growing up. Families that were in that same situation my family was in growing up. Still technically in that situation. Like, out of my immediate family, like I'm the one who, I'm glad my grandma, unfortunately was no longer with us. She did go to college.
Yeah.
I don't know if she finished, but she did at least go to college. I want to say she went to I think she went to Central, which poo grandma. My aunt, her sister went to A&T. So hey, that was talking about Aggie pride there. But outside of that, like my grandma, she went to college, but my mom didn't go. My mom's sister didn't go. My mom's brother did not go. My dad definitely did not go. So like when they everybody got together, had their families and sit there and tried to do things, like they didn't get as far because of course, like one, they're all black, without a college degree, so that system just didn't work out for them. None of them. And of course, when we came along, like, I mean, I obviously was not comfortable living in Podunk, North Carolina, and it's like, I got to get up out of here. Somehow, in a county that had maybe one computer for every 100 people, I learned how to use computers. Was very good at it, and it got me out. But yeah, like for me, like I've gotten to a point where it's like, yes, I can afford medical care the way every American should. They should have access to this, but they don't, and that's just the truth here. So if I can find some way to help those families who cannot afford to have what I have, then I'm going to do that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And it's kind of hard to convey that message, convey that feeling to people who don't look like me, because they don't get it. When they got a little boo-boo, they was skin their knee. Oh, they went to the family doctor. They could afford that.
Yeah. They did their little copay if they had a copay and was taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard for me to.
On it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to convey. Like there are families in these communities that can't do that, and that's why this is really important.
Yeah.
Like it's beyond what CMN and what Extra Life puts on the marketing pamphlets. Because sure, they'll find the best looking kid, put on there, say, all right, yeah, you're doing great. But, and like they show the success stories, but they don't show, I mean, like, yeah, like you'll see like the medical bad story, like they're almost the extreme cases, but not necessarily the ones where somebody just could not afford to pay. Yeah. They just couldn't, they couldn't afford the bills. And that's still a thing. Even if like there are children who are coming in these hospitals, the thing is like what Extra Life does, it doesn't necessarily cover the cost of that. It may pay for the equipment. It pays for the research, but it doesn't pay for those families. So if what we're doing is just maybe making those stays in those hospitals a little bit better, like allowing them to spend less time in a hospital because now they have equipment and research to figure out things a lot faster.
Oh yeah. Or
to help take the kids' minds off of whatever it is that they're going through. then I'll do that. But it's still always going to be in the back of my mind that there are still some families who can't get that help because they just still can't afford it. Like, it still baffles me. Like, another story I tell is like talking about trying to diagnose a problem really quickly. Back to 2016, game day, night before game day. Everybody's getting ready. I was testing my equipment. I think I was doing one last stream before game day. I forget what I was playing that day. I was all right. So playing. Son was feeling a little sick, but it was enough to where he had been feeling sick for a little bit. Wife was concerned. Yeah. So Marcus, we need to take him to the hospital. We don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. He's running a fever. We got to go. So, of course, reluctantly, because, you know, I'm a gamer. I'm streaming. It's like, I got to stop the stream early. Man, come on. It's Extra Life tomorrow. Man, I can't do this. All right, I'm going to put on my dad mode hat. Actually, fun fact, I just bought that hat the week before game day. So I literally put on my new dad mode hat.
Send me the link.
Like, but.
Oh, they're just this is the only one in existence.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Put on the dad mode hat, turned everything off, and we went to the ER. You've not seen horror and pain, and you think that what you see in The Last of Us 2 might be bad, but it's one thing when you sit in the ER and you're standing outside of the room that your son is in. The doctors ask you to stand out. The doctors nurses ask you to step outside while they take your 2-month-old son and place a spinal tap on him.
Yeah.
He was too young. He maybe a week shy of his first immunizations, and because he did not have them, they had to take a spinal tap to figure out what is wrong with him. I spent Extra Life game day weekend in Duke Children's Hospital. Again, unfortunate for me to be there, but still, one, being able to see what it's like in the hospital, seeing where that money is going, seeing like, hey, like maybe my donations and my fundraising from 2013 help them pick up this Wii that's just in this cart. Our hospital, like each hospital room had a PS4 in it, and trust and believe, I did think I thought in my head, like maybe if I asked the doctors or nurses, is there a way I can get this thing online and I could stream, from the hospital? It'd be great. Like just raise a little bit of money for Extra Life while I'm just sitting here. Maybe it'll work. But yeah, being in there and like,
a second, I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Just being in that room, being in the hospital during all of that, like it kind of hit differently. Like I think it's actually I think it's in my Extra Life story on my page. You'll see there's a picture that I took. It's got a little Pokemon and other little characters painted on the window of the Children's Hospital. I took a picture of that while I was there at the hospital, and just like, hey, I was kind of telling people that was in the guild at the time, who were streaming, said, look, sorry I couldn't be there with you guys. Still in the hospital, but again, like what you guys are doing, it's amazing. Keep up the good work. Like with this, like I know some of you guys have already seen this window. You've seen some of the you've taken this to the hospital. Just so you know, this is what you're doing it for. These sick and injured kids that are in these hospitals, the hospital that I am currently sitting in. You guys are helping these people out. Like I can't be there to help raise funds with you guys, but just so you know, I'm checking in. I'm checking in the hospital. Your money's been put to good use. Good job, guys. Keep doing it. Don't stop. Don't stop. Get it. It's unfortunate to be put in those situations, but I feel like we're both Christian here. I'm not sure anybody else is. Well, God puts you in places God puts you in places so you can sit there and see what's going on. You can see the thing he's trying to show you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, there are unfortunate situations I found myself in, that I found my families have found themselves in, but we learn things from it. We are gaining deep, meaningful insight into why we do what we do. Why it's important to fundraise, why it's important to sit there and ask for these spaces, why it's important for our voices to be heard. And don't think, too, for those who are here, don't think that we haven't noticed that, yes, there's 3 black men here. What about the women? What about queer folk? And that's the thing. Like, that's the problem we have. That's the problem we have in this organization. We don't know where they are because of the fact that people tend to hide that. Not to say that they're cowards, no, but because of the fact that if they show that, it's not safe. If they show that, then they get turned on. Like, people come after them. CNN put out a statement supporting Black Lives Matter. Took them longer than I wanted them to, but they did it. And then it didn't even take like 3 hours for the trolls to come out, the whatabouts. Yeah. And then the actual blatant racists. It took them no time. And I hope I've took quick little peeks at the chat. Luckily, I haven't seen anything bad. And if there hasn't been anything bad, then thank God. But it's something that we always, like, as black creators, as black voices, that's something we always have to fear. Mm-hmm. That once we speak out, once we say something, and not just black folks, POC, women, queer, as soon as we say something, if we say the sky is blue, somebody is coming in with some racist, bigoted nonsense, and it does not make any sense. Or you got people who, just because of the fact that you look different, they're willing to question the things that you say. ELU 2018 couldn't make it. Like, this is part of my 2 years of not being a part of ELU. It happened to be on a weekend where, you know, hey, trolls got time now. They ain't working. Yeah, they got time now. They ain't And I noticed something that weekend, that once a black kid showed up on stage, was featured on that video, and almost like clockwork. Again, they didn't have to say anything. As soon as the image popped up, the racist just came out. So, of course, naturally, I block every single one of them.
Yep.
But that's not the problem. The problem was that one of the days I did, it was a Saturday. You know, and I'm going to take my hat off because y'all can see how terrible this looks. Yeah, my hair wasn't even this long. I had to get a haircut. I'm sorry. Like, eventually, you know, you just gotta do something. I wish I had the long, luxurious mane that Champion does, but I just don't have that patience. Yeah, I don't have that patience. So I gotta cut that off.
Let's do this.
I don't trust my wife with clippers. I don't. So I went to go get my hair cut. While I'm waiting to get my hair cut, my phone starts blowing up. Just Discord messages. With people asking me why. Why did I do it? To where I had to sit there and write almost like a grad level paper. See, I'm not sure if he's still in Zolaz, my epidemiologist on payroll. He's going to be a doctor. I probably had to write a dissertation, something he has to write just to get a doctorate, on why I'm blocking racists in chat, instead of, I don't know, listening to the one black guy who would recognize a racist when he sees one.
Yeah.
And just rocking with it. I had to explain myself countless times on my phone while waiting in a public place. Like, I shouldn't have to explain myself again, at this time too, I think I was team lead of the stream team, and I'm still being questioned. Like, these are these problems. Or when I'm in the guild chat in the Discord, and I'm trying to tell people like, hey, you guys are asking questions that, you know, maybe other people would like to know. First thing they come out, like, they dismiss me. Then, and this one really kind of got to me, they refer to Extra Life at large, the Extra Life member community at large, as Gen Pop.
Wow.
Like they were prisoners. I'm like,
yeah. It's like of all of the terminology you could have used, Gen Pop.
Yeah, no. Don't do that.
No.
Or, and this one is this recent. The recent one that really got me was that, again, and I'm glad he's no longer around. I'm not sure where he is, but the fact that we had somebody who was in some position of power referring to COVID-19 as the Chinese coronavirus, and then was like, I don't see what the problem is. After calling us, say, hey, that's racist. Don't do that. And instead it's like, all right, you know what? Cool.
You know, the people that I communicate with are all calling it that. So
yeah,
the problem is everyone that is calling that around you look.
Mm-hmm. It's like my like I've said it all the time on my job, and nobody seems to have a problem with it. So I was like, okay, one, you're either lying, or two, maybe we should have a conversation with who you're talking to.
Yeah,
because then that's a bigger problem.
Yep.
And even in those scenarios where it's either I'm having to really do the work myself, then explain my work like I'm in school. Like, I don't like having to explain math problems. Teacher, if I said 2 + 2 = 4, don't make me have to show my work. I'm right. Just give me the check mark and keep moving. I'm good. Granted, in school, I get it. But when it comes to me calling out racist, look, don't ask me to show my work.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and start referring people. Go ahead.
We don't just say it just to say it.
Yeah.
You know, we and all of us, you know, in general, like, we all feel at different levels. You know, and that level changes. Like, some days this might affect me, some days it might not affect me. But if I say something, please believe me that I've actually gone through it all the times in my head, all the different ways, and I've done everything that I can to eliminate that that's what was being said.
Yeah.
And I still came to this conclusion. Please don't discount everything that I just did within myself to say this out loud, because that is yet another thing that I have. Not only am I internalizing and thinking about it, but then to actually be like, to have that courage to say something. Please believe me that it's true. Please believe me that I'm telling the truth. Please believe I'm not making this up. I'm not just full of shit right now.
And the one thing that was asked too was like, so because again, it's still happening now in 2020. They're asking me to educate them. And I'm gonna tell you something. It's one thing to, you know, explain just racism to people. Like, sure, I've got books to do that, but streaming is new. It's mainly cis white male dominated. Mm-hmm. Which means there is not much in the way of well-documented cases of racism on Twitch at all. I want to say maybe 2 days prior to that, an article was written about Trihex, a very popular black content creator on Twitch. He's very popular in the speedrunning community, whose emotes have been co-opted for racists. That article just came out, and it wasn't even about the racist emotes. It was about Trihex himself, and they just happened to mention.
Just slide that in.
Yeah. Like, what do you think about your emote being used? The try hard emote being used like that? But that wasn't even the focus. And like, that was the only thing I had to show, hey, here are the racist people on the internet. Not, I mean, granted, you can go to Cypher of Tyr and like almost any given day on her stream, they gonna show up. God bless that woman. She has the biggest target on her back. Like, all she probably have to do is hit start stream. Doesn't even have to show her face. Just within 2 seconds, the trolls are there because they know. So yeah, having explained that, and even with the COVID-19 thing, the one, and so with Extra Life, the thing to hear was CMN refers to the novel coronavirus as COVID-19. We would appreciate if you referred to it as such. Not, hey, dude, you are seriously being racist. Like, cut that out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't describe myself that way.
Thank you, Google.
It's all listening to you in the background.
But it's Issa Rae. I'll excuse Issa.
Oh, okay.
Like, and they let him rock as a mod for quite some time after that. And it was only recently I found out that they removed him. And it's sad how I found that out. I went looking for any comment he may have made after the BLM statement went out from Extra Life.
Oh.
Just to see if he had any different opinions.
Any commentary.
Yeah. But when I went to look, he wasn't even on, like, he wasn't in those spaces anymore. I said, and I found him, and it's like, oh, he's had that bro removed. I was like, it's sad that I'm now expecting the trolls.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I don't know. They're quiet. Did something happen to the troll? Because it's about troll o'clock right now.
Yeah. Troll 30.
But yeah, it's not a good look. It took convincing someone to remove the comments from the Facebook post, the BLM Facebook post from Extra Life. It was in the middle of a Fortnite stream and somebody brought it up. Now we're gonna pick our battles on that one.
Yeah.
2 weeks after your code of conduct comes out.
I remember you talking about that, and I believe you had a very lengthy rant at the end of that stream, which is found on YouTube.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
It's like, that's something you should not be saying. Again, like it goes back to, like, you're seeing so many tweets, so many posts from all these companies, all these brands talking about, they stand with us. But it's like, well, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Now, granted, and I'll give credit to where credit's due. This panel here only exists because Extra Life asked us to show up there today.
Yes.
And of course, we sat as the Red Collective and we talked about it. And it's like, you know what? That seems very reactionary. Super reactionary. And it's like, there's something we're not going to do. Now, if you want to uplift our voices, then you bring them here.
Yeah.
Uplift our voices on our platform. Show us that you really mean it. Because the fact that, one, I feel like I would not be able to say the same things I'm saying now if I was over there. Or I would have said it. I'd have felt not. I don't know if I would have felt bad about it, but of course I would have brought some unwanted smoke to certain people's way, and they don't deserve it. They had the best of intentions, but I want to make sure that I can say what it is that I want to say without really having to be that concerned.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a mess. Again, like, all this started because we just wanted a safe space.
Yeah.
Now, I've had conversations with the VP of Diversity and Inclusion with CMN. We talked Thursday. And for one, she had just started that role apparently earlier this week. She had worked within CMN and they just moved her to the role. I don't know how long this role existed, whether or not somebody was working there before her, but it seems like she's still trying to get into things. She's trying to get a feel for things. And, she's asked, about some certain groups. And, of course, I told her about the Cookout, told her about BGG, Black Girl Gamer Code, Latinx in Gaming. And those are the ones that I could only think of at the moment. I told her about the Trevor Project. I know that's one. That's
INDG. Oh
yes, that's right. I did mention INDG. Again, talk about someone with a target on their back and totally forget the organization. My bad. But yeah, like I mentioned, these organizations, like these are people that you need to talk to. And as much as I love Extra Life, I look at St. Jude and how many content creators of color, how many queer creators they have doing amazing work for St. Jude's, and they bring them out. They talk to these content creators, they talk to these communities, they answer the questions that these creators have.
Yeah.
And give them the tools that they need. With Extra Life, it's just a whole all right, it's a grassroots movement. Y'all figure it out. Just bring us the money. Yeah, it's kind of a hard thing to do, especially when you work with communities who may not trust you because, again, when they start peering in and it's like, yeah, it looked like a bowl of grits in here. I'm good on that. Like, nobody in there looks like me. Why would I chill in there?
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially, what our goal here is to try to unite these voices, these lost, marginalized voices within that just sea of cis white men. Try to help uplift your voice. Give you that safe space for you to come in and talk about your problems, get the help that you want from people that you feel like you can trust. Again, Jamie, just talking to Jamie, and she told me she didn't know who to talk to within the national Discord about she just becoming president. And didn't know who to share her concerns with. And I was like, hi, I'm the president of the Raleigh-Durham Guild. And immediately, look, I can answer whatever questions you got. I don't have all the answers. Again, I'm from a guild that, I can count my members on one hand. Sorry, I had to put a finger down. That's just how bad it is. But I can try to answer those questions. Also, I've just been here for a while. I've been within X Life for so long. And again, it still amazes me that for a black man to get as far as I did. Now, the conspiracy theorist in me, the paranoid guy in me can really start asking questions of how did I get to this point. I like to think that's not what it was. I like to think that it was my very charming, enlightening personality.
That's what I would have gone with.
My charisma, it's great. It's fantastic. But, it also just could have been tokenism.
Yeah, that's one thing about, any type of success that sometimes happens. It's hard not to go there and be like, oh, no, I actually worked hard, busted my ass. I deserve this. Instead of there's always that nagging. Did I get lucky, or was this a design outside of what I knew?
Right.
And it's just one of those things where you have to having to defeat that on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis can be just draining. And I know I felt that way in the past. And I don't have a specific thing right now, but I know I felt how did I get here? Was this really me, or was this I don't know. But yeah, it's hard to definitely, when you're doubting yourself, that's what it's hard. it's like, it'd be nice. There's some people that don't ever have to doubt them.
Yeah.
That must be nice.
It's very much so. Like, yeah, I'm sitting there about to buy, I'm in this space for like 3 more weeks, and I'm in a new house, bigger space, everything. I'm really excited, but at a certain point, it's like, y'all sure y'all because before y'all wouldn't let brothers get home loans. Y'all sure y'all ain't taking advantage of me? Am I getting the same rate that they getting over there?
Exactly. Is my rate like low enough? Like, is my down payment too big? Like, what part of this am I getting shafted on that you're not telling me?
Like, when does the other shoe drop here?
Where's the agenda in all this? Like, what's really going on behind the scenes?
Yeah. And that's another thing. Like, it's that level of transparency. Like, you're making all these decisions. I don't know. Include some people in it. Don't surprise us.
Yeah.
We like to know. We like to talk to you. Again, not to mention this long sleeve shirt that's on merch.extra-life.org that has the kanji and the katakana that was clearly put through a Google Translate and typed on the sleeves in some weird way. When you could have asked somebody who spoke Japanese, who can read it and write it, to probably give you the right things to put on the shirt. Also, who is it for?
Or to say, no, this isn't a good idea. You shouldn't, if you want, just put what it actually says here. Don't translate it into something else.
Yeah. I think it's also on a pair of the pants too, just written all over them.
Oh, and hiragana. See, I don't even know all the is it dialects? See, I don't know. I'm not going to speak. See, again, this is where somebody who does not know is not going to speak on the thing he does not know.
Yeah,
and we'll trust the people, and we'll trust the people who do, who can put me in the right direction.
Or exactly.
Talk to the people who know, and don't assume. How hard a concept is that?
It's not hard.
It's super hard. Why are we even doing this? No, joking.
I'm gonna tell you, compression. I've discovered compression today on Voice Meter, and man, it's amazing. I can whisper better now. So I'm gonna use.
All right, let's not make this ASMR.
Yeah, I forget. This isn't my personal Major Linux show streams where that it devolves into that.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. This is your channel.
It's my show. It's my show now. But yeah, like it's very difficult. It's a very difficult thing to understand when people do not understand. Like, while people don't understand a very simple concept. Mm-hmm. It's okay to ask for help.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's okay to say I don't know.
Yeah, there are people who know.
Yeah, just that's it. That's all you gotta do. I don't know.
It was like when they were when we were going through the merch and somebody asked Lou, what does it say on the sleeves? Lou could not answer that question. So he asked Jamie. And it was at that point, because I missed an earlier part of that conversation to where, Jamie introduced herself.
What?
Yeah. So when I came in, he asked Jamie. I thought Jamie worked for CMN. Because again, thinking that my alarm just went off. I don't know what's going on. Boy, I hope nobody. Okay, I think my wife's got it. Because I hope nobody's breaking into my house.
10 o'clock, not yours.
He asked Jamie, and I thought Jamie worked for CMN because, again, I don't know.
Why point her out?
Somebody who's doing something is saying something about it.
Yeah, like, I figured, like, all right, if you were asking her, like, okay, maybe she had a hand in the design. Again, problematic statement coming from me, but she looks like somebody who would have known that without really knowing her background. So it's like I assumed that, okay, I guess she is the resident person who can read Japanese and can write Japanese and design this shirt. That's great. Awesome. I see that they are finally hiring more diverse people. Until I had that conversation with Jamie, and then she told me, no, I'm a school teacher. I don't work for CMA. I'm actually in Seattle. Like, what?
I wasn't a part of this design anyway. Like,
yeah, like, what? No, what? Not just...
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
yeah.
Let's not go down this road. We could stay down this road.
Yeah. let's go
overall
back from...
point of all this is
We just wanted a space.
talk to the people who know.
Yeah.
Talk to people.
Like, we...
Learn. Talk and listen to learn. That's also something that's missing. But
yeah. Like one big thing I mentioned, like during the ranty phase of my streams a few weeks ago, was like, I don't mean to be rude. And again, if I'm being hosted on X Life, I do apologize. But I feel like this has to be said regardless. Shut the fuck up and listen. It's that simple. There are people who are highly qualified and trained in what is going on in the world, whether it's a pandemic or, again, civil rights movement part 2.
Yeah.
Who can tell you a thing or two. If you really want to know, shut up and listen. We will tell you what to do, but we're not also going to do the work for you.
Or an even harder concept, listen and don't think of a response while somebody else is talking.
Yeah.
Actually fully listen to somebody, not to respond, but to learn.
But to understand.
It's like that one scene in Parks and Rec where Ron, he was going to Indianapolis, he was going to get a steak, and they closed the steakhouse. So he ended up at a diner. And he asked the guy at the diner, he said, the guy at the diner asked him, so what do you want to eat? He said, I want all your bacon and eggs. So the guy starts walking and says, no, wait, come back here. Now, I want you to understand what I asked for. Now, I'm afraid you heard that I want a lot of bacon and eggs. No, I want you to go back and I want you to get every single egg, every single slice of bacon. You bring that to me. And that's the thing. Like, sometimes you just gotta pull them back. Like, no. Wait. I'm afraid you heard this.
I want
this watered down thing. You took what I told you. You put it in a cup of ice that's gonna melt in 2 seconds because you're right next to this fire. No, what I want you to do, dump the ice out. Dump the whole 2 liter in this cup. That's what I want. When I go to a restaurant, I don't ever ask for a cup of soda with ice in it. Don't do that. Don't give me half of what I want. I ask for a Diet Dr. Pepper. I want the full cup of it. The volume, the entire volume of that cup. That's what I want, full of Diet Dr. Pepper. Don't water it down. Understand what I tell you something. Don't think you heard it and then go and like, okay, write it down. Write down the vision. Make it plain. Don't be like these waiters and waitresses out here, you know, take your order and you be like, I ain't see you write not near one of these things down. I mean, it's a cool trick, but I mean, if there's a pickle on my burger, then look, we got problems, man. But yeah, it's only things that we ask for is just like this. Listen, shut up, listen, give us that room, that space to breathe. Because not to make light of George Floyd, Eric Garner, sometimes these spaces we can't breathe.
Tamir Rice.
In these spaces, we can't breathe. We can't be ourselves because once we show 1 ounce of blackness, that's a wrap.
Yeah, you're angry all of it.
Yeah. It's a tweet that was going around. I was like, it seems like nowadays the argument is either I like this or now it's political or something. If somebody hears something they don't like, it's now political. So I'm sorry, my blackness is not political. My right to live and not just to merely survive is not political. My right to live and not catch a deadly virus is not political. Yes, things can be inherently political, but when it comes to my rights, my right to live, to exist, not only just in reality, but in a space, that's not political. It should not be this hard.
Yeah.
At all. I shouldn't have to take things into my own hands to get things done. If I ask for your help, if I ask for your support, just hear me out. I'm not asking that for my health. I mean, maybe my mental health, because boy, looking at what's really out there and you're in the at-large groups, maybe I kind of want that little space where I don't have to worry about watching what I say.
Yep.
Or worse, watching what other people say.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all, Linux, I took a break from social media just for my mentals because of all the stuff that people are saying.
But see, that's the thing. We can't turn that off, though.
No.
I wasn't even going to front. I'm going to tell you something. As hard as it was to watch all of that, to me, it felt like this is the thing we need. This is the thing that's going to keep me going. It hurt. But sometimes you just have to feel that hurt.
Yeah.
It's like a little kid touching the stove. Sometimes you got to know when it's hot. You got to know it's hot. You won't touch it again. And that's what I feel this is. Like, you are now going to see it more than ever. This is what's happening. This is the world that you live in.
Oh, yeah. I'm back with the minutes.
This is a problem that you created, not us. You created. Y'all can't hide from this. I'm not hiding from it. I'm looking at every single one of them because I want to be reminded. It's almost like Killmonger with the little things on his chest. Like, it's just a reminder each and every time you hurt me. Because I'm going to keep going. I ain't stopping. And they mentioned something too, like, being afraid of saying things. Once Extra Life had made the announcement this morning about this stream, 5 different people left that Discord server.
Left the Discord server.
Two of which left within seconds of that post being made.
Wow.
About 10 people left that server within a few hours of the BLM statements coming out.
Shows where their heart and head is.
It's very telling when a statement of, and I'm going to probably say this wrong, like inclusivity comes out, and people are dropping off.
Because it's political.
That is very telling of what's going on.
It's political to them.
Yeah,
I'm here to help sick kids and play video games. And to be fair, I have one person that used to be part of my guild who wrote to CMN saying that, he necessarily wasn't even a part of the guild or X Life to heal sick kids. He just wanted to play video games 24 hours. So, I mean, there's even that. But the moment something gets political or what they deem political, they want to dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminds them too much of the real world. And it's like, I'm sorry, I've got news for you, man. I may be only 32 years old, but I've been dealing with this my entire life.
Yeah.
My parents have dealt with it. My grandparents have dealt with it. And those are just the people that have been able to benefit from the Civil Rights Act. My grandma was born before then. Her childhood was before, even rumblings of civil rights were even a thing. Black folk have been dealing with this for over 400 years. So yeah, it must be nice to be able to check out, do something else, because boy, an unpleasantness is heading your way.
Yeah, that's one thing that, I do have Facebook. That's the only social media I have. I don't have Twitter. I don't have
I've noticed that Twitter bit.
I don't have anything like that. So
I've noticed that Twitter. I've been trying to tag him in tweets as I can't do it.
I can't. I don't need it. I can see where it could be beneficial to help me, but I'm like, one is enough right now, and I don't even have I've turned off my notifications on Facebook. So if anyone tags me, posts me, whatever, I see it when I open. But what's hard when I am on there is seeing it's like, oh, I didn't know it was that bad, or I didn't realize that it was that bad. And it's like, so what you're telling me is the people that are in your circle that are saying something is that you didn't believe them. You thought they were lying. You thought they were just making this up and just like they are being political. But it's like this stuff has been going on forever. And all of a sudden now you're saying, oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize it was that bad. I can't believe this. And it's just like, that means you as a person didn't trust the person that was telling you about it way back then. It is taking so much more information and so much more negative images, negative connotation, and all of this bull that is going on for you to finally even remotely open your eyes and say like, oh my God, I didn't know it was this. And that's what's hard to me sometimes. Is that the ability to just, oh, that's just a one-off. Oh, that's just that one time. Oh, that something must have happened behind the screen. Like, that to me is always like, do you realize what you're saying? Is that there must have been something back that you didn't see that justifies whatever's going on, whether that's someone trolling, someone just, I don't want to bring any additional images to anyone, but it's just like you're legit making space for that to be okay. Mm-hmm. And that is hard to see now in 2020, people saying they didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't realize.
Finish. Go ahead, finish.
No, it was like, it's sometimes it's just like, you just.
Yeah. So real life example with that. My wife and I were driving to the zoo yesterday, celebrating Juneteenth. Shout out to the background. And we were talking about the state of the world right now. And we somehow got on the topic of what we're talking about right now. And she brings back this memory that I completely did not want to remember. It's one night after Wednesday evening service. Hannah, you were there. And we're talking with one of the guys at church. He's like, but white people have it bad too. This doesn't just happen to black people. And we're trying to let this person know that there's a disproportionate amount of people of color who suffer this. And I had to step away from the conversation because I did not know what I was going to do. It's like, I'm at the church building. I don't need anything happening. I'm walking away. Yeah, Annie did not step away. She ran her mouth, but I still haven't heard a response recently from him saying I'm so sorry about what's going on with y'all.
Oh no.
And I doubt that I'll actually hear that.
So
I have people.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I have people on Facebook, and Derek's been talking with this person too. It's like, but doing all this stuff, saying all this stuff, all this white privilege stuff. That's just as bad. It's like there's a disproportionate amount of Black people, of people of color, who are suffering this. If you're not seeing this, that's on you.
Yeah.
And it's to think that these people who I have considered friends are not listening to the person who's actually experiencing this and not taking into account our words who have actually experienced this. I could tell you from elementary school days, looking back on it, things that I've experienced. I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But I could tell you those things.
Yeah.
I could tell you several stories. I can tell about a band teacher who had said something to me because of my hair. Just put it like that. And products that I use in my hair.
Yeah, man, you and these gap stones. I think I got him now. You go ahead.
It's my preaching style. Sorry.
All right, hold on.
I sought to let y'all catch your breath.
Hold on. Hold on, I got you.
But it's thinking back on that, I can go back and tell several experiences.
Yeah.
Elementary school, middle school, high school, college, workplace. There's always something that I have experienced. Y'all can probably say the same thing. That if we say something to one of our cis white male friends, it's like, that doesn't happen. That doesn't really occur.
You're just making that up.
Just making it up.
Saw that on TV somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to respond like, have you ever had your toes called walnuts? Because of how they look?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
No, it's like it's the terminology of like Zill nuts, but there's like a negative connotation that actually is what they used to call that I am not going to repeat right now because it's
understood.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
Have you ever been to a zoo and had one of your white friends says, "I could just keep you here"?
Yeah. Yeah.
It exists, people.
I don't remember exactly what age I was at. I'm pretty sure, like high school. Pretty sure I was walking to work or just to a friend's house where I was standing at a light. I got in there, I pressed the button. I'm just waiting across the street. Car pulls up at the light. I don't even look in that direction, but you could hear the locks go down.
Mm.
And all I did was just like kind of looked over and I just shook my head. I'm like, I can say that I feel like I've dressed the same now as that I did back then. Yeah, I may wear a t-shirt, I wear pants, jeans. I've never been into one to sagging or like wearing like things that were overly big. But it's just like I'm dressed like a fucking human being. mind my own business. To have a car pull up, I mean, it's not like they all of a sudden just saw me. It's like they pulled up and then locked their door.
You got Gus Griswold.
Like, and I'm just like,
Roll 'em up.
it was just automatically assumed that yes, whatever you have, I wanted it, and I'm going to do so. As a child, as a high schooler, middle schooler, whatever, I was not I had much more of a baby face than I do right now.
So innocent,
just like the
pure.
ridiculousness of it all is just like, and people were like, "Oh, you probably just no." Like they could have, if they wanted to lock their door, they could have locked their door as soon as they got into wherever. To lock it then was a very clear thing of what they were trying to do. Or having a car drive by you while you're walking at night, drive really close and honk their horn at you while they're driving. Like, that's not something that just happens to people. That's a very clear intimidation. That's very clear of they saw who was walking because they didn't have a certain hairstyle or skin tone and decided at that moment that they were going to do something to mess with that person. But I'm just making this stuff up. I'm just seeing things that way.
I was telling Derek. So back to our history lesson. I was telling Derek about the Tulsa race riots. And Derek, you can say something in chat if you. And he didn't know about it. Okay, show of hands in chats. Who's heard the Tulsa race riots before this year? Show of hands. Just curious. Tulsa race riots before this year. How many of y'all raising your hand are not POC? or not from Watchmen? Not from Watchmen, not POC. Just there's history that I'm still learning as the POC.
Yeah.
In the back of my head, I've known about Tulsa probably since I was in high school. My mom's been very good about teaching me about stuff. It just gets lost somewhere in the back of my head.
So
and then when it comes back, like this year, it's come back with a vengeance. It feels like, especially anyway. I'm not going to go into that. That's happening today.
I remember that. So I knew about the Tulsa race riots, but what really hit me this year was I was streaming. I think I was streaming that Saturday, and we actually wasn't it you? Wasn't it you who brought it up to me in that stream? And we looked it up, and it was the day before 99 years.
Yes.
That blew my mind.
And this stuff doesn't happen.
I'm about to blow your minds again. This is something my wife told me about just this morning. It happened in North Carolina too. In 1898, Wilmington, North Carolina, another place where black folk were thriving. And white folk just drove them out of town.
Yeah. I heard about that same thing about Central Park where there used to be a village.
Oh, yeah.
And ran them all out and made it a huge, just the size of Central Park is just ridiculous. But to think that was originally like a settled black community, like a thriving black community, and it all got pushed out.
Oh, there's an article I'm about to link in chat once I find it.
Nice.
About similar things. That there's 5. I can't find it. My Anne Elaine posted it.
Yeah, Seneca Village. Thanks, Kev. My resident
Yes.
New Yorker in chat.
Thank you. Thank you.
But this is an article back in 2019 of other places in America that's devastated by race riots that you probably have never heard about. And no, Wilmington is actually on that list. It's actually second on that list.
But this is crazy.
I told no, it's my Aunt Sharon. It's my Aunt Sharon who posted this. And I told my Aunt Sharon, all the reasons for these looks like the exact same reason why the Israelites were enslaved by Egypt. If you look at the reasons for these, it's because a black community is actually thriving. There's actually, in some cases, more POC than white people. So what happened?
And they weren't looking for outside help. They were self-sustained.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And what happens? Just read your history. Oh, wait. Sorry. You won't find it.
Yeah, the Daughters of the Confederacy got something to do about that. But, that's another tone.
Mm-hmm.
Read the article.
In Georgia textbooks, they wrote that, hey, the South, sure, we lost that battle, but look, we were just here doing this for states' rights, and when we had slaves, man, they were out having fun. We fed them and we clothed them, and when we partied, they partied too. They just worked for us. It was not even that big a deal. But the Northern aggression.
States' right to do what?
Yeah.
States' rights to do what?
Oh, you mean own them slaves, huh? Boy.
Oh.
Again.
Learn your history.
Yeah. Yeah, all this is, all this is like, at this point, like, it gets to a point where we ask for space, we ask for an equal footing, and then we try to get it, gets denied, so then we go out and make it. But see, now, this has me fear just a little bit. Just a little bit. How long will that last before that gets invaded? Just even in a digital capacity.
Yeah, because you can't. Unless you're looking at, this was only created within a month or so. Like those, you can probably potentially weed out. But in the end, it's just we're not going to know who's knocking on the door to try to. We don't know what their intentions are.
I mean, it's at this point too, where it's like we do have to remain vigilant. It's tiring. It's tiring work.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, like if we don't do it, nobody will. Nobody's going to sit there and look after us. Nobody's going to look after us black folks. Nobody's going to look after POC. We have to do that work still, and it's unfortunate that it has to be this way. But this is the way it is right now until we finally hit that finish line where everybody, where everybody generally agrees and does fight against racism, because I don't know, that's just bad. But apparently that's a hot topic and a very hot political issue, that racism is bad and, we should stop killing black folks unproportionately, either by your police or by medical professionals, because again, I've had panic attacks for several years and nobody told me. And I was wondering why my chest hurt so much to where I had to pay several $100s in medical bills to see doctors who could not tell me what was wrong with me. But, hey.
Yeah.
It's not just your cops, folks. It's your medical professionals, too. Because, again, the problem is not just within people. It is systemic. It is in the system. People, again, white folk, if you hear me call you racist, I'm not just calling you out. I'm saying that the system is, and you couldn't help it. You can learn to fight against it. But the first thing you need to do, now I'm going to get on my pulpit. The first thing you need to do is admit that you might be a racist and that you benefited from a racist system. Now, once you complete those first two steps, then
let the healing begin.
You let the healing begin. Let me get an amen.
Amen.
You let the healing begin. You begin to change and heal the community, heal the people around. Then you go, you touch it, you'll talk to your friends, you talk to your family, you tell them, so look, it's not bad.
But don't touch your friends right now.
Don't do that. Especially in the face. Don't do that. If you're gonna go see your friends, wear a mask.
Wash your hands first.
Wash your hands. At least 20 seconds. Soap and water. Make it all sudsy. The coronavirus do not like the bugs.
Sing happy birthday to yours.
That's right. Twice. It seems really weird. It seems really weird. I know it's crazy. It's like my birthday several times a day. It's crazy. But that's what you do. Anywho, once you wash your hands and go talk to your friends and you tell them, hey, you might be racist. And it's just not white people. It's just not white people. It's other people of color. Because black culture appropriation happens everywhere. We create the things that you enjoy and you like to appropriate that, and then we say, hey, you know, maybe we should be compensated for that. Looking at you, Epic, you know, you don't do it. You throw your lawyers at us. It's like, no, it was a dance you did on YouTube. It's just it's public domain now. I don't see a copyright or a patent for your dance. Since when was anybody have a patent to go dance? So, once you realize that the system is built against minorities, people of color, and you fight against that, you work towards fixing the system that is inherently broken, then yeah, we can start doing better things. But again, you have to acknowledge that while you may not be overtly racist, it's not like you out there wearing the Confederate flag and coming out in your Klan hood. That, hey, you know, maybe I did benefit more than my, black friend from elementary school. Because, you know, what happened to him? He's still back there. You know, he's somehow got, you know, like the job at the grocery store. Here it is. I'm like CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Like, we had the same opportunities. What happened?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I fought hard to get out and get to where I am. I mean, sure, there is imposter syndrome, and half of it I thought was just regular imposter syndrome. But it's kind of an imposter syndrome with I think it's John Henry syndrome, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what it was. Where you tend to work very, very hard for a little bit, and you think that you're not doing enough, so you just keep working really, really hard until you tire yourself out. Well, I'm gonna tell you, leading up to this, I have not slept very well for the past 2 weeks. It's exhausting, literally, at this point. Y'all gotta recognize what's going on, and once you do that, once you acknowledge the problem, then you can begin to fix the problem. Moku was mentioning about, you know, his friend or church member, not sure if he's a friend or not, but church member asking, you know, like, well, I didn't benefit from white privilege. I had that same conversation a few years ago. Granted, I've talked to this person since then. Actually, I believe she sent me some masks. Which is really cool. And like I've talked to her since then, and she had mentioned like, yeah, like she understood now. She didn't get it then, but she understands now. But we had that conversation of, bless you.
Thanks.
We had the conversation of, like, she had mentioned to me, it's like, well, Marcus, you're doing very well. Like, you know, you're successful. Like, you're able to sit there and do all these things, but I can't. Mind you, yes, I had a job that paid very well, but she owns her own business.
Yeah.
Like, you chose to do that?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, and she knows me. She knows I want to start my own business. But I can't. I can't do that. I can't afford to do that. Because I've worked so hard to make sure that my family doesn't fall through hard times. That I happen to get a job that allows me to work during a pandemic.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
That While, sure, according to the state government, I may be an essential employee, but it ain't essential like someone who has to work at a grocery store or at a pharmacy or as a nurse in a hospital. I'm glad that I don't have to work that hard. And I thank those people who do have to do that. I thank my wife because, again, for me, I'm a diabetic. I can't just go out there and be catching viruses all willy-nilly. Mm-hmm. I thank my wife who is able to do that for my son and I.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there is certain privileges that people get that they don't understand that they got. Just because they look at the immediate situation. Yeah, if you look at me and compare me to a lot of white folks back from my hometown, oh, yeah, definitely. Well, I can get away with a lot of money I got. I worked hard for it. I did what they told me to do, pull myself up from all my bootstraps. And you're right, I did that.
All the bootstraps.
Doing a lot better than you. But let's face it, if y'all fail, y'all got families y'all can fall back on because like half the town is owned by, other rich old white folk.
Or you got a family member who knows somebody that I can.
Yeah.
All the connections.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah, I ain't got that. If I lose my job, that's just it. That's a wrap. Who am I? My wife was my last lifeline when I got evicted several years ago. She was it. If that happens now, like, we ain't got nobody.
I get that.
Whew, Lord.
Tiring.
It is. It's exhausting. I'm going to tell you something. Again, I know with the three of us, 3 black dads, like, I don't know what y'all got planned for tomorrow, but tomorrow for me, again, there's certain words I like to use, and this one I got to use it. I'm going to fucking rest. I'm tired.
Yeah. Let's see. Right now I have, so the morning is going to be mostly, my wife is going to be baking an amazing corned beef hash that I really want. And I will help out because that's just how things go. But I plan on fishing if the weather's nice. If the weather's nice, I will be fishing because luckily for me, I rent a basement apartment on a lake that is fully stocked.
Nice.
So all I got to do is grab my poles, which are right outside my front door, and just walk down to, and I'll spend some time out there. If the weather's crap, then I'll be in this exact same room, streaming all day.
So I'm hoping to not see you live tomorrow.
If I'm live, it's because I'm already game. We'll just do it because Extra Live 2020. That's why I do it. Yeah. So why not? And then be hanging. We'll see her dad later in the afternoon.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, so that's. I mean, and this I'm excited because it's my first Father's Day. So.
Oh yeah, that's a special one.
First one's always.
It's gonna be pretty awesome.
First one's always good. First one's always good.
So, yeah, we saw my dad today. That was earlier this morning. He had other stuff going on. So we're able to get him in this because this was like really important for this conversation that we're now to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my tomorrow.
Oh, man. It's exciting.
Yeah. I'm preaching my first Father's Day sermon.
Oh, look at you.
And then I'm having steak.
Yes. Yes. Mine are in the. I have some ribeyes in the fridge. I'll be doing those up tomorrow.
Yeah, see, I'm holding out because again, like with me moving, the place where I have now, like there's barely any backyard space. I live like on the top of a hill, so like there's just nothing out there. At a new house, because also they're building this house on a hill. They're actually building us a deck.
Oh, nice.
So we have a beautiful deck that I'm going to be buying me a new grill, and I will be grilling my steaks then when again, outside of the new studio space I'm building. I am really excited for this deck because I can finally get me a grill again, and I can finally grill me some damn steaks.
Nice.
Whatever I'm getting from Chili's and Outback, these to-go steaks are horrible.
See, I'm not grilling the steak tomorrow, even though I could. I'm going to Longhorn just because it's too hot to grill here right now. It's like, no, wait, it's supposed to storm tomorrow. That's right. It's supposed to storm tomorrow, so I couldn't grill anyway.
See, I'm up here and I'm in Seattle, and right now it's saying it's like 68 degrees. Tomorrow it's supposed to be somewhere around that, but it might rain. It might.
You said 68 degrees.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I'm moving to Seattle.
That's what it says right now.
Look, I'll see.
Tomorrow it's supposed to be like.
I'm selling the house we're building. I'm moving to Seattle.
You got the high that I'm supposed to be looking at tomorrow is going to be 64. It's supposed to be scattered showers.
Oh God, that's
like this is. I haven't had this late of a summer, and I don't.
Wait, that's late.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Wait, that's summer.
No. It's not summer.
It's not summer yet for him.
We're waiting for summer still.
I want to be in a place where I just wait for summer.
Sometimes our summer doesn't start until like.
See here in North Carolina, they flip it like a switch. It's like it was cold one day, and then all of a sudden it was just hot. Like. You know, like the Hue thermostat has got some small little machine learning stuff in there to try to figure out, about where you would want your thermostat. Yeah, it's really weird that in the middle of the day sometimes, like the heat just cut on for no reason. It's like, why is it so hot in here? Especially in this room where I got all my computers. It's like, it's so hot. Why is it so hot?
Yeah. So luckily, this room that I'm in right now, right here, but the other wall is like just right behind the camera, so it's not very long, or it's not very wide, but it's pretty long. But because I have monitor, TV, laptop, Xbox, there's just heat right here.
Yeah, so I see that now. That seems like a lot on your desk.
I have a fan back there to just blow cold air in.
That's the only way I can stay somewhat normal.
Yeah, I'm now noticing your desk. That seems like a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot right here, but it works. I'm fortunate I was able to get a desk and set up very nice, very cool. Just sit here. Okay.
Well, before we go, I do want to bring up something. I know this is a question that was asked just like maybe prior to, and again, we talked about hairstyles. What's professional. I do want to bring up one very, very interesting hairstyle we have right now. Seeing as that, again, we are extra lifers. And one thing I didn't touch on, again, it's something we could talk about later, but Mocha, you care to share with us your new interesting do here?
Oh yeah, I put out a quick flash incentive for $100. I would do this.
How long was it until someone did it?
Someone came in at the 11th hour and did this.
Nah, you're not getting away with this.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I could do something like that. But
I would cry. I would cry if you did that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would.
Like, I have no stake in your hair whatsoever, and I would cry.
It's hard to even think about right now.
Just don't do it.
It's like, I'm just like that's just where I want to be, so bad.
Yeah, this is like 8 years.
Yeah, I'm just so lazy.
Oh yeah, fun story about this. I said that I would do this to embarrass my wife. She wants me to keep it.
I mean,
she's like, no, I like it.
Look. She's the one who cut it, right?
She's the one who cut it. On
I mean,
Instagram Live.
I think she wants you to keep it because look, she's just proud of her work. It's
That's
not so much
probably
that she likes the mohawk. She's just really proud of her work. I was like, yeah, I did that. I did.
She's
that.
like, yeah, that's nice. I like that.
That's me. That's me right now. That's me.
And then she's like,
I'm gonna have it through at least one. I'll have it through at least one day. Then we'll see what my boss says.
Now, what I suggest you may do is like you just cut. Like, is it all the way down to your neck?
Yeah.
So just like maybe a few inches up. Like, okay, yeah, that may not work. Like I think, because what I was thinking was, I'm not sure if you've seen MGS4, but one of the guys from Rap Patrol, or Meryl Silverball's scene, he's got a mohawk too, but because his hair goes all the way like lower down to his neck, he's got a little section of it missing to where it looks like an exclamation point. So that's that Kojima. That's that Kojima right there.
Hear that alert go off.
Kojima, yes. I said, man, Kojima on another level with everything.
That's awesome.
Kojima on level with everything. But thank you so much, gentlemen. All right, one last thing before we go. Of course, we know we've been talking forever. I do want to make sure that people can know where to find you. Hopefully the mods are ready. I know we tried to provide them with links and stuff beforehand, but where can people find you so that way, again, they can listen, they can uplift your voices? Not everybody wants.
That's how I get 7-star. All right. So you can find me at twitch.tv/MochaJones10. I'm MochaJones10 on Twitter. I'm MochaJones10 on Instagram. Those are my main two platforms. And you can also go to my Extra Life page at extra-life.org/participant/MochaJones10. Yeah.
Nice. So I am ChampionOfFro. You can find me at ChampionOfFro on Facebook, YouTube, Extra Life, Mixer. I missed one. Twitch. All of them. All of them are ChampionOfFro.
What about Twitter?
Where you can find me. I don't have Twitter. I don't have Instagram. I don't have Snapchat. I don't have.
I mean, you gotta have Snapchat. At least just Twitter and Instagram. Like, look, how about we usually trade in Facebook for Instagram and Twitter?
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I've been posting a lot these last few days, but I don't post enough that I feel like to warrant a Twitter or Instagram.
Hey, Instagram just
only on Peach
of the baby. That's all you do. Post pictures.
No, my baby's not online.
Nice,
like
smart.
Yeah,
that's definitely not the approach I took. And we saw him before he was born.
ChampionOfFro, wherever you find it, it's there, except for IG and Twitter.
So I'm gonna cheat because obviously this is my channel, so I can do this.
Yeah, you can just post it.
You always push a button on my stream deck and it shows up. But yes, of course, obviously you can find me here at twitch.tv/MajorLinux. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter at MajorLinux on those. Discord, you can find me at majors.house/Discord.
I do have a Discord as well, but you can find it on my Twitch page. It's too long to. I don't have a fancy command that just puts my Discord out.
See, if I was on my channel, like I have my I got my stream deck.
Okay, see, now
I can just push a button.
Off. Now you just showing. I just got the OG. You got this long, mixer panel.
It was an awesome birthday present for my wife. She treats me right.
Dope.
Yeah,
I got a recliner for my birthday, so.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Gift for my birthday.
Oh yeah, all the social media stuff is on the Twitch pages too. I forgot the Twitch changed thing, so I did at least post them there. You can also find me at MajorLinux.com. Of course, I'm always going to shout that out because it's been 8 years. I've wanted that domain for 8 years, and I finally was able to get it last weekend. So you can find me at MajorLinux.com as well.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah, that's right.
So you get it.
The most momentous project stream ever when I discovered I could buy MajorLinux.com. Like, I don't think y'all understand And shout out to Fire Rant. He not only I think he donated $5 that day, and on top of that, he donated the cost of that domain. It was $8.88. So he donated that to Extra Life too, because it was just like, I can't believe it. For less than $10, I can get my name. It's great. Now, granted, I don't know if MarcusSummers.com is available. I hope it isn't. I hope whoever has it is already using it and is not using it against me personally.
It might be that Double Dare host. You never know.
Yeah, that's right. You know, could I buy Mark Summers then? If someone's got Marcus, can I just buy Mark Summers and just call it a day?
That's hilarious.
Oh, Lord.
And yeah, obviously, like I didn't push the button for my podcast stuff, but of course you can find the podcast, notyourfriends.com. That's again, if you were looking again to uplift more Black voices, I actually host a podcast each. Well, I'll host 2 podcasts a week. I forget. Yeah, Not Your Friends on Wednesdays at 9:00 p.m. Eastern, where myself, the High Gamer, and Jay Dukes, we just shoot the shit for a couple hours, and of course on the Cookout. If you've not heard of Cookout, you should definitely go check out the Cookout. Twitch.tv/Cookout on Thursdays at 8:00 p.m. I do Tech Talk Thursdays with it's your boy Kev and Cineac. So, and again, if you're looking to uplift Black queer voices, definitely check out Cineac as well. Wasn't it food related?
Yeah, because someone was like, I was on Peach, and I was like, wasn't that food
I think
related?
that was a weird social media platform from a while ago.
See, I only remember
vaguely
Peach.
remember that. I vaguely remember.
So I only remember Peach because I used to. So when I was working at, well, I'm still working at Seattle Children's, but I was at a different office, and Peach was the name of the company that would deliver for us. Like they would deliver food from like local restaurants. Like that was the Peach up here in Seattle. Like I don't know where Peach is, whatever else, but like up here it was like
They delivered me food, but it
So
wasn't It wasn't a ChampionOfFro.
That's what you want us
I
to
don't know,
think.
whatever.
This is what you want us to think. I like to think that Carolina Ale House is delivering food to Major Linux whenever I have a salad.
This is an extra live stream. I've gotten enough donations to have to eat one of these fiery beans.
Let's see.
Oh no! You're not the only one. I got mine.
Oh,
I got my bean boozled.
these are the fiery bean boozled though.
Hold on.
See, I don't have the fiery
I gotta
one.
do a weird thing.
This is what I did. So last year during Extra Life, during the game day, I did Bean Boozled for the entire day for the 24-hour stream. $5 a bean. And I had 2 of those containers, and I went through one container and half through. So it was like, I think it was like over $500 that day of Bean Boozled, and it was like, eat 5 at once, eat 10 at once, here's 10, but eat 1 at a time. It was a lot of jelly beans that day.
So my question is, should I eat one of these beans? So I have. So right now I got stockpiled 4 beans I have to eat.
I think you should.
All right,
All at once. All at once.
Hey, hon, can you bring some milk?
Put some ice in it, make it really cold.
Yeah, after that heavy conversation, we got to end on a good note. You know what I'm saying? We got to uplift each other. So yeah, so definitely let's see. Let's see what we got here.
We got habanero, which is the next to last one on there.
Do it.
All right, we're doing it. Habanero coming up for you.
All right.
Wait before you tie us. To add another beam to my list, I need to get to 1280. I'm at 1202, so $78. So, all right. So this is habanero, guys. So
do it. That looks huge.
Is this habanero?
Yay! Little mocha.
It's kind of funny because it's like fading in and out. It's like a shadow. A shadow.
It's not bad.
Got your own little stand behind you.
Yep. Hey, dude. That's not bad.
So awesome.
I can feel it in my ears. that makes it.
That is interesting. I can feel it in my ears.
Yeah. Feel it burning.
Yep. Oh, it's not bad. All right.
Oh, do you see Superman?
Won't need the milk after all.
I
Nope.
see it too.
So, no, when I get to Carolina Reaper, I might die. I feel it. I feel like I'm starting to sweat. But,
Oh man, that might be a good one to do too. I might have to incorporate that for a game. We'll
if
see.
you want to hit me up offline, I can send you some. I have like 2 or 3 packs.
Cool. I'll make those the big ones. The
my
big
word.
donations for them.
I'm starting to sweat. I'm starting to sweat from this.
Aw.
Good thing you got that milk close by.
Right?
So yeah, there's sriracha, jalapeno, cayenne, habanero, and Carolina Reaper.
There you go.
Whew. That's the 3rd one I've eaten.
You got 3 more to eat.
No, 4.
4? Oh, Jonathan wants the Mario.
And my son has my controller. Smart man.
So look, hey, like game time, baby. Game time. What we doing?
Game time.
Game time.
All right.
Wait, what are you talking about, Blackhead? What is going on? What question? Yeah, Blackhead.
This isn't the question time.
No,
That's not your friends.
I'm afraid he may have asked me another question. That's the thing. Like, I'm shy with him now because I missed him that one time by complete accident, and he kept giving me crap for it. So I'm like,
I'm scrolling up. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see what he was saying, but I don't know. I don't see anything.
Just
I don't see a
answer his
question.
terrible questions. Where can I sort my chat by Black Kev comments? I don't think my chat bot does that because I just like wanted to see what he said.
Show matching Black Kev.
Yeah, like what's the sequel statement? Select star.
Oh man, I haven't
Select star where music equals Black
was
Kevin.
in response to the beans.
Not very fast.
Oh no, I don't.
He was
want,
saying that you were staying quiet about.
Yeah, I don't want terrible beans. No,
Like, I want that.
Mm-mm.
Like, why would I want that?
I want none of that. No.
Yeah.
No.
So I should
I definitely don't want itty
regular,
beans.
where I have to eat another bean. So I should be on about 8:30.
Central Time.
8:30 Central.
Okay.
How much would we all have to donate to have Hot One style Extra Life interview with you three? I mean,
Wait,
honestly, I would just do that
Have you
just to do it. Like that's not even. I just want to eat hot wings at that point.
It's a YouTube channel. Oh my word!
Okay.
Somebody to me. Yeah, it's a YouTube channel.
My hair's
You know that
for a man bun.
Us meme. This is us. We're here. This is us. You know that one, that video that's been going around. Look at us. Look at us. Can you believe it? We're here. Look at us.
Is that where that came from?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I don't know.
I just recently found out that that Tracy Morgan meme with the no was from Cop Out. I did not know that.
Look at us. Can you believe we're here? Look at us. Yeah. But hot
Do
one.
a shot of hot sauce or eat a really spicy wing and then talk about something. Yeah. So I actually did do that during Extra Live Stream last year. We just ended up doing it because we didn't make the goal for it. So yeah, we just took the drops of hot sauce. I'm gonna say I totally crushed it.
Nice.
Like it seemed like it was very anticlimactic because we all made it to the end. But I wouldn't mind trying that again. Like the box we use, like you can just order that from Amazon.
My boss is telling me about this place where they have hot sauce so hot that you just put a toothpick on it and you just stick it to your tongue.
That just sounds fun.
Yeah. It's like there are some out there where it's like you dip a toothpick in like a 5-gallon bucket and that was all you need, and even then it's still hot.
That just sounds fun. It's like when people tell me about hot sauce and super strong alcoholic beverages. It's like, okay, just point me in the direction of wherever that is. Like, I'll just go. It's fine. Like, I don't think I've found a hot sauce hot enough for me to be, oh my God, that's too much. And alcohol that has been like, whoa, that just knocked me on my butt.
Good times, good times.
Someone get Marcus to bop.
I mean,
what? I feel like I know what that is.
At a certain point, I realized that I should probably have a P.O. box because then I can accept these things. Or I could just give you my old address and just move from here, just sit outside the old mailbox. But then I don't want to. I've thought about that because I've been ordering things from my office and am afraid they're not going to get shipped in time. So I'm like,
what is he doing?
Just going to be sitting outside of my old house, just like waiting for a UPS man to show up. So I can just load that in the truck. Don't worry about it.
Look what Zello said.
The stream is missing rants about. Oh my God, no. Look, mayonnaise is not salad dressing. I don't care what you put on the jar. It's not salad dressing. No, you do not put it on a salad. Just again, you can use mayonnaise to make potato salad. That's great, but that does not make it salad dressing. It's a lubricant. That's really like all mayonnaise is a lubricant. It's not even like food.
People need backstory from this one.
So for those who don't know, I've mentioned, yes, I'm a diabetic, so I've been trying real hard to go on a very low carb diet, which means I'm eating a lot more salads than I really would care to eat. But hey, I've got a particular salad I like to eat, and that's what I eat. Also, my wife makes some too, and they're really delicious. So in this case, she made me a salad, and I realized I was running low on ranch. So I said, hey, eventually you need to go store and buy me some more ranch. She suggests to me that I go downstairs. She says, there's a bottle of salad dressing downstairs. And I looked up, because again, I knew there was no ranch. I knew what salad dressing was.
There's a bottle. Wait, she legit said there's a bottle of salad dressing.
She said it was a bottle of salad dressing. Now, again, I knew that there was no ranch. However, I knew there were bottles of like French or Italian, Caesars. There was other salad dressings. There was also, I knew that jar of mayonnaise labeled salad dressing was in that refrigerator. So I said, I want ranch. So Marcus, there's a bottle of salad dressing. So I don't want French. I don't want any of this. Marcus, there's a bottle of salad dressing.
No.
You mean it's not about, it's a jar that has the words salad dressing on it. It's not a bottle, it's a jar.
That's like a jar.
A mayonnaise jar that says...
It's like, if the opening is bigger than this, that is not a bottle.
It's not. Even the refill bottles have small holes. This is a jar that has the words salad dressing. It's like an ally. Like, if you want to be an ally, you don't go around and sit there and say, hey, I'm an ally. That's kind of a main take for maybe you're not. If you have to tell me you are something, that's a key sign that maybe you aren't as good of the thing you say you are. If you have to tell me that you are it. If you have to tell me you are salad dressing, and not anything specific like ranch, French, Italian, Caesar. If you have to tell me that you are salad dressing when I can clearly see you are mayonnaise, you are not salad dressing. I told you you can miss me with that right there. I will happily wait until you bring me a bottle of ranch. Again, Velveeta is not cheese. Velveeta is Velveeta. It is a cheese product. It is not cheese. I love Velveeta though. I will eat some Velveeta. I mean, until like again, yeah, mayonnaise is okay. It's fine. Like I'll eat it on a Whopper occasionally because that's what it comes with. But I'm not seeking mayonnaise. Like actually replace mayonnaise for ranch on sandwiches.
Oh man.
Yeah, Velveeta is not cheese. It's a cheese-ish thing.
I gotta say, this has been awesome. I'm glad that we were able to come together for this. This has been time well spent.
Oh yes.
Thank you for everyone that has been commenting and posting and hosting and sharing this.
And
we got to do this more than just once a year.
Stuff. Again, I can only see it on my end, but I hope and pray that y'all have been showing the love to Mocha and Champion as well.
Thank everyone for those donations and the follows.
Yeah, same.
And definitely look, if you are a POC, if you are looking for that safe space within Extra Life, please definitely feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to Once a Clockwise Child. You can reach out to Haney Travels, and we could try to coordinate that for you to try to get you in, because again, we need to keep the momentum. We need to keep this growing, because it's a good message to send to those who need to see it, that we are here.
Yeah.
That we need this. This is important more than ever. That this shouldn't have been reactionary. It turned out, unfortunately, to be reactionary. Like we were working on this before all this jumped off a month ago. But we had to expedite this process.
Yeah.
Because we felt that it was important to finally get that out there, especially now when people are really looking for that safe space, for that place to find, just a place to somewhat call a home during all this. So again, if you are POC, you're in Extra Life, and you are looking for that safe space, please feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to Haney Travels, reach out to Once a Clockwise Child, and we could definitely get you guys in there. And again, again, I know I said if you call yourself an ally, are you really an ally? But look, if you are an ally, if you do want to support, I do recommend, I'm going to shout out my man Mocha here with his Discord server. He definitely has that open door for those who definitely are trying to learn, who want to better themselves, who want to help support and uplift voices of other people in the POC community. So definitely reach out to Mocha. He can give you the link to his Discord server. It's wide open and it's great. Like I'm in there and I'm learning some things. You
can also hit up Hanny for that as well.
Yeah. So like Hanny got the connect.
Hanny's got the connects.
Hanny got the connects. So yeah, definitely So gentlemen, thank you two so much for agreeing to be a part of this. I know. And again, shout out to Green Lantern. I know he wanted to try to be here, but with his job, everything's in flux. So it's definitely understand that he couldn't be here, but he wanted to be here. So shout out to all three of you for helping out with this. Definitely want to give a shout again to Hanny and Once a Clockwise Child for definitely helping get this thing off the ground moving. Shout out to Tuna.
We couldn't do this without all of our support from all of our friends.
Most definitely. Shout out to Tuna for the dope art. Definitely need to hit me up with the compensation details so I can make sure you get paid, because I'm about paying artists. I definitely believe that. And definitely shout out to those who have been in this organization, who've been vocal about where we should be going. I know we've had a few meetings, again, late nights, because with all of us working or doing other things, it's been late. Getting things off the ground, getting things planned out, and getting us moving and mobilized. Thank you all so much. None of this, like Champion said, none of this would be possible if it was not for you all being in there and just even voicing. Just even putting up emojis and you just agreeing with things. Again, your voice matters. Also, don't ever think it is. Don't ever think it does. It matters, and we appreciate that so much. Yeah. Now, if y'all don't hear from me about 2 days, y'all know I'm just asleep. But I appreciate it. Thank you all so much.
Hey, real quick,
yes.
Mocha Major, Y'all have an awesome Father's Day tomorrow.
Yes.
Y'all too.
Enjoy your little ones. I hope y'all get spoiled. I know I will be, and it's gonna be awesome. So y'all enjoy yourselves.
First Father's Day is always gonna be the best.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
So yeah, I know that again, like we were uplifting Black voices, but also I do want to give shout out to one big ally, one of the big ones that I've been in conversations with for quite some time. And I know she is trying to raise funds for her end Alzheimer's. I know her grandmother and I believe her father-in-law both. I believe they lost their battles with Alzheimer's, so she's trying to raise funds to try to fund Alzheimer's research. So definitely I want to give the big host, the raid, to Ashley AWOW, who is definitely still doing I think it's the longest day ever stream, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely want to give her the love. Thank you all for showing up, for showing out, doing the amazing things. Again, for those who want to know what to do, shut up and listen. Now, of course, you guys could have been anywhere in the world watching any stream in the world. You could have been listening to any panel, and trust and believe, there have been plenty of panels all around. There's been a lot of round tables. But I thank you all for coming out and listening to this one, at least listening to our voices. We really, I know I appreciate it, and I believe these two gentlemen also appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much.
We're passionate about both the things that we've talked about today.
Exactly.
And we want to spread that love and spread that knowledge to everyone.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. And of course, all I have to say to you wonderful people out there is I love you. Peace. How?
Later.